Muggish Jake here after a couple month break, coming back to do something I've wanted to do for a few years now. And it has something to do with my favorite company, who's made some of my favorite blasters, and created my favorite dart. The one that I actually am entitling the greatest dart ever made. You might disagree, or some of you might agree, but I do genuinely believe that the Busby Precise Pro is the greatest full-length dart ever made by any of the four mainstream companies. Of course, that's Nerf, Busby, Dart Zone, X-Shot. I still put this, at this point in time, as the best full-length dart, particularly if you're using spring-powered or air-powered blasters. Flywheelers don't like them quite as much because of the profiling, but if you're using a Springer or air-powered, this still pretty much is hard to beat for full-length darts. And I still stand by that. All the way to this day. But the Precise Pro and Busby. Busby's not the one that created it, and we'll get to that here in a second. But the Precise Pro is a interesting story in and of itself. A superior design coming from a company that, to mainstream consumers at least, is kind of unheard of. Busby Toys is, especially at the time when the Precise Pro came out, Busby was absolutely the next largest dart and dart blaster producer behind Nerf. But Nerf is, for the mass market, Nerf is the name. And for most households who are not in tune with the blaster hobby, they know Nerf. But Busby all of a sudden introduces this dart that comes with a very unique profile with a almost wad cutter style tip to it that flares out, and then the foam is profiled to be narrower below the tip, and then has flutes actually embedded and thermally ingrained into, you'd say molded, because it is thermally molded, into the foam. And the foam itself is of a little bit higher grade, and that thermal treatment makes it a little bit more resilient than others. So you're like, this is an unusual design, and it's a better design. And for Busby, these are actually kind of expensive darts. Being higher priced than most things, when Busby itself is a kind of performance and value balanced company. And compared to Nerf, they always were trying to offer better performance at a lower price. Kind of their claim. But these basically were just a premium product. They were just flat out better and cost more. And you're thinking, that doesn't sound like Busby themselves. And it wasn't. This is actually the brainchild of a currently 77-year-old machinist and inventor from South Carolina named Dale Isenmann. And after I did some of my early, very ecstatic videos about how good these are, he actually sent me an email to my business email. You can find it here on YouTube. He sent me an email saying, "Hey, Muggish Jake, I'm the creator of these, and I'd love to get a chance to tell you my story." Well, fast forward through a whole bunch of things that have happened, the pandemic that can yet still be unnamed on YouTube, and me with some of the things in my life, we finally got a chance to, in person, do what I wanted to do. Give him a chance to tell his story in a mini documentary type setting. And I'm leaving it unedited, his portion. I'm just going to give you this little intro and then a conclusion. But without further ado, the dart and its creator need a chance to be seen, heard, and recorded as a little bit of history. So I'm going to fade to black and let Dale Isenmann give his story unedited.
Okay, my name is Dale. My last name is Isenmann, and sometimes I like to tell people that it's a word that means Iron Man in German and in English and in Russian and in Japanese. I'll let you think about that. Is that okay? Well, my last name is Isenmann. My first name is Dale, and I'm the inventor of the Precise Pro Dart. Most people on the earth, in the world, do not know that. And through some circumstances that I did not orchestrate, and had no idea I was going to be doing this. But anyway, at one point in the past, I contacted Mongoose Jake. I'm just going to call him Mongoose Jake, if you don't mind. But I contacted him, and I don't remember doing that, but I did. So these darts were manufactured in 2018 and put out to market, the Precise Pros. They did really well. They did really well in the first year. They sold over 10 million. They sold for 16 cents a piece. I got 8/10 of a penny. I went to a meeting that I'll tell you about. But I went to a meeting up in New Jersey, and I was invited up there, and I brought my darts. I brought these. I brought some other darts, and I was in a conference with them, and there were these men on either side of the table, and I brought darts. Some of them looked like this. Some of them were different. I won't go into that, but I also brought some targets, and I set them up at the end of the table. It was basically made up of a rectangular wooden block, and I put the target inside of a slot that was in the block. And I would do this at home, at my shop. I have a machine shop. Anyway, they wanted to see him perform. So I set up these 5 targets at the end of the table. And there had been times in the past when I would do that, and I would knock down every one of those targets. Yeah. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. You'll have to forgive me. I'm over 40. I just remembered how this all got started. So I'm going to back up to a birthday party, the story about the birthday party and how these happen to come about. I went to the birthday party of a boy who was turning 6, and he was and still is the son of some really good friends of my son. And they had, he was turning 6, they wanted to have a birthday party for him, and they wanted to have a Nerf war. So my son said, "Can you come? Would you be interested in coming?" I said, "Yeah." "Is the Pope Catholic?" "Sure, I'd like to come." So anyway, I went to this birthday party, and I went prepared. I'm a Vietnam vet. Yeah, I went prepared. I'm planning on winning. So anyway, we got around to cake and ice cream and that kind of thing, and then we got around to the war. And I was ready, like I said. I brought a blaster that would shoot 30 rounds. And what they would do is divide up into teams. And there were kids there that were 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14 years old. Big kids, little kids. So what we did is divide up into 2 teams. One went to the backyard, and when one team went to the front yard. And I was in the front yard. It worked out where I was on that team. But anyway, I guess somebody blew the whistle. I don't remember exactly all the details, but the game started. And we're working our way around to the backyard, and they're working their way around to the front yard, and we're engaging with art to win. So I'm shooting these elite darts. I'm trying to nail somebody that's, I don't know, 15, 20 feet away. And my rounds are going. I'm thinking, how am I going to win this war against all these little enemies? And I finally gave up, and I would just go, boom, incoming! And I'm hoping that one of these little enemies is going to run into my dart. Because these things were not flying straight, and I was not happy with their performance. So, the game's over. I'm one of the losers. And later on, in the course of time, I got to thinking about these darts. These foam darts. They do not fly straight. And I'm thinking, maybe if the shells had a divot in them or something like that, maybe they would fly better. So what I did, the very first thing I did, I took a couple of these darts like this, got a pair of fingernail clippers, and I pinched it like this. And I went clip, indexed it 90 degrees, pinched it, I went clip, pinched it again, clip, and again the fourth time, clip, like that. Well, I happen to do it down here also. So I'm playing with these modified darts, and they're flying straighter. Yeah, these things, you might try it at home sometime. Just get you some old Elite darts like this, and with a pair of fingernail clippers, go clip, 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 clip. And then go outside and shoot them, or shoot them in the house. But we probably won't take the time to go out here and show you that that's so, that you can really do that. But I would encourage you just to entertain yourself to do that with your Elite darts and see if they don't perform better. When I did it, they performed better. So I'm excited about this. And I go and see my patent attorney. He stops what he's doing. We go in the conference room. And I say, "Watch this," and I'm shooting these darts, and I'm nailing it. I mean, I'm getting I'm getting a pretty good shot group across the way there in this conference room. So he's kind of impressed. So anyway, I get to working on making better darts, aerodynamic darts. And it worked out where I asked my patent attorney, I said, could you contact Nerf and tell them about me and that I have this really pretty accurate dart that I've invented, and would they be interested in maybe looking at it? And the response was, no, we're working on a dart that's accurate, that'll fly better, in so many words. So I just receive it like that. And it works out now back to where I went into parentheses and went backwards. Okay, so my story is that I made, in my shop, I have a machine shop, I made darts that were really quite accurate. And I played with them, and I could have a shot group like this in about 12 feet. Yeah, my shot group would fit in a circle like this. So it works out where my attorney, one of the girls in his office said, you know what? Why don't we contact Busby Toys And so that's what they did. And Busby Toys said, yes, you could. We're interested in looking at your darts. And I don't think I sent a sample. They did have to sign an NDA, and I was rather concerned that this be protected, because I knew I had accurate darts, whether anybody liked it or not, Hasbro included. Anyway, I bring these darts, different models of darts, to Busby Toys, and I have a meeting. I'm having a meeting with these people, and like I mentioned before, there were three and four men on this side of the table, 3 and 4 men on this side of the table, and I brought some targets that I'd made, and I got permission to set up the targets at the end of the table. And I get out my darts, and in the past, sometimes I could set up 5 of those targets, and I could hit them and knock them down. I mean, just bam, bam, bam. Sometimes it would be like that, and sometimes it wouldn't. But anyway, I make my setup. I go to the end of the table. You know, they're all paying attention, and I put in one of my darts. I fire my dart. I shoot my round. Boom. I line up on the second target. Boom. All 5 of them went down. And my heart goes, yo! I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take that all day. Well, anyway, it comes to a discussion about royalty. They're really interested. Busby's really interested. These men are really interested. And I just said, and I've learned not to do this. Don't speak first, okay? But I said, you know, I wouldn't mind getting a penny a piece for them. And I'm thinking maybe I could get a nickel. I didn't know. I'm just an inventor in ignorance, okay? So, anyway, and right away, they said, no, we can't give you a penny. And I'm thinking, what? You can't give me a penny for one of these? And I kind of pressed when these 2 men walked away. I won't go into names, but these 2 men, they walk away and they have a little meeting, and they come back and they say, we can give you 8/10 of a penny. And I'm sitting there at this conference table, and I'm thinking, you can't afford 2/10 more? I'm serious. I'm thinking, you know, I'm an adult with some reasoning skills, whatever. No? We can give you 5%. These will sell for around 16 cents a piece, and you'll get 8/10 of a penny for every one we sell. So we sign contracts and that kind of thing, and they're presented at the toy fair as Precise Pro darts. Well, when they went to market in Walmart, I don't know what happened, but they signed a contract I signed a contract with Busby when something like this, that if they rebranded it, they had to have my permission. But somehow, I don't know how, that was ignored. Was not considered. And so what happened, they were sold in Walmart as exact strike darts. And that really confused, I'm thinking it confused people in the marketplace. I had friends that come back and said, I went to Walmart and I didn't see your darts. I'm like, what? Well, they're looking at a package like this, and they can't see the detail that's on the darts, they don't realize that they're looking at Precise Pro darts, but they can't find Precise Pro darts. These say AccuStrike darts. So they didn't do as well in the marketplace as maybe would have been preferred. And eventually, a year passed, and Busby Toys actually sold over 10 million of these things. But they were sold all over the world, in toy stores all over the world. And I don't know how that works. And I'm thinking, how do you get these things in toy stores all over the world? I have no idea. But one quarter, when I got a report, I asked my attorney. I said, "Can you contact them and ask them to tell me where they were sold?" I knew that they were. I think I knew that they were sold in Canada, United States, in South Africa, and Australia. I think Canada. Did I say Canada? I can't remember. Anyway, I was curious to know where they had been sold in the third quarter of 2018. So we get a report back. He gets my patent attorney gets a report back, and I found this to be really cool. Anyway, all right, they were sold in the Philippines. They were sold in Dubai, Kuwait, Argentina, Germany, UK, Ireland. They were also sold in India, Scandinavia, Qatar, Czech Republic, Panama, Israel, Kazakhstan, Turkey, and I think there's one more. Yeah, they were sold in Lebanon. At least in these places for this quarter. And I'm thinking, I'm intrigued. I'm pleased. Yeah, they're selling my darts all over the world. Well, right now I'm thinking about something else. All right, they did really well. I mentioned they did really well the first year, and then it worked out where Walmart did not carry them the second year, and they stopped. They would not sell precision darts, so they took Precise Pros, Exact Strikes. They took them off the counters, and then they took Hasbro's Nerf's dart. I don't remember what it was called. It was Accu something. But they opted. They made a decision not to try and sell these darts, and they said they were just too expensive. And well, what happened? I wrote a letter to leadership at Walmart, and I wanted to know what happened. Why did you take them off the shelf? And I received a letter saying that they didn't sell as well as had been estimated or proposed or thought. And so I would get, and I still do get, a royalty from them, but it got so that I would receive a royalty of less than $500. Now we're talking since 2018, okay? So I might get a royalty check for $200 in about the second year, in the quarters in the second year. Maybe $300, maybe $100. It got so the last 3 times I received a check for $120. These are just very recent last quarters. $120, almost $90, and then this last quarter that this was after the Christmas period of 2013 on into the new year. They didn't send me any money. They said they didn't sell any of these. And
2023.
Pardon me?
2023.
Yeah, 2023. Yeah, okay. It's 2024. Yeah, right. You're right. Okay. I'm over 40 and my brain malfunctions. Okay. So anyway, I'm just dealing with it. I'm thinking, okay, things go by the way of the earth. At one time, big wheels were hot. I mean, hot. And I remember my father and I assembling them on a Christmas Eve in the living room of our home for our kids. I think we bought 3 big wheels. Anyway, and I think about Cabbage Patch Dolls. I mean, they were so hot. Anyway, so there's been a loss of interest in some parties on the earth, and I wouldn't mind if maybe they were even rebranded and sold again. What I would name them is AccuFlight darts. AccuFlight. I was not even in a meeting or in any kind of consideration relative to a change to sell them in Walmart as exact strikes, as to precise pros. That kind of puzzled me. I'm thinking at the toy fair, these were precise pros, and I'm thinking they should have been sold as precise pros. That's what people were looking for, that wanted to buy them, that knew anything about them. And then I learned that people in this realm of the economy, they write reviews on these darts. Well, then I learned about Mongoose Jake, and I learned about Coop 007 or whatever he was or is. I can't remember, but I do remember very clearly 2 reviews, and then I read other reviews about these darts, and on one review, this was input from an outsider, whatever, I can't think of the word right now I want to use. But anyway, someone who had purchased these darts and used them and wrote a little review, and in kind of a summary sentence, they included the word superior relative to performance. These were identified as superior in performance. Well, there was another writer, and I've lost kind of track of my notes and everything, but there was another writer in response to reviews, whatever. He sort of summarized the performance of these darts as supreme. And I'm looking at these reviews and I'm thinking, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. I'm loving it. You know, I want to sell millions of them. Well, I don't remember if I said, I think I mentioned that the first year there were over 10 million of these things sold. Over 10 million. That's 1.6 million. And I got 0.8 of a penny for every one sold. So I got $80,000. You know, I didn't complain. But I wouldn't I wouldn't have been offended if they didn't give me a penny a piece for them. Okay, is that okay? I would have made a little bit more money, and I can't do the math in my head right now. But anyway, you know, well, I guess, you know, a penny a piece. I don't think that'll be easier for me to do the math. and it's just this number times a penny. Yeah, I could do that. But anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And it works out where I have patents on my darts. I have 2 patents. One of the patents covers a lot of different designs of darts that I've made, and these darts are accurate, and it's they're accurate in performance, more so than any of the other darts that I know that are on the earth. Anyway, I have different designs. One covers quite a few different designs, and what you can do is look up Dale Isenmann, and you spell that Isenmann. So you type in Dale Isenmann foam darts, and you can read about my patents. One of my patents covers all the darts except for a new dart that I've come up with, but it's included in another patent. It's just this is expanded a little bit, and it includes what I'm going to call. I thought about calling them pop darts, but I think if they go to market, I'm going to call them smart darts. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Again, my name's Dale. My last name's Isenmann. If you look up Dale Isenmann foam darts, you can see these patents. And I don't know. I would, again, to repeat myself, I wouldn't mind. What I'd like to be able to do is to buy these directly from Busby Toys, sell them to me instead of selling them to Walmart, and have a website. I don't know how to set up a website, and have a way of being paid for these things. I wouldn't mind being paid. Yeah, but what I would like to do, I'd like to take these. I'd like to put these back in the marketplace under a new brand, and just call them AccuFlights. AccuFlight. Because these things, my understanding is these are the most accurate out there and have been. And Mongoose Jake, he says they're the best. And a fellow named Coop, when he reviewed these 2 darts, and I saw his review on the internet. Okay, so he's holding it toward the end of his review. He's holding up 2 of them like this, and he says, "This is the winner," or something to that effect. And he goes like this with the Hasbro dart, and I'm thinking, "You're going to get in trouble." But I don't know if he did or not. But my understanding is that this is the winner. It still is the winner. If you go and shoot these, they go in a straight line, and you can nail your enemy. Yeah, with these darts, and I'm not ashamed of them. Is that okay? No, I'm not ashamed of these darts, and I'd like to sell. I'd like to get these back in the marketplace, and I'd like to get these in the marketplace. And I think I want to call them smart darts. Well, let me tell you something I just thought of. I contacted Hasbro about making pop darts, and the man I was working with, they had it for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months, and I finally got a response from the man that I was dealing with, and he said, "No, we're not going to be able to go there. It's too risky. The decibels and whatever. It's just we're just not willing to take certain kinds of risks. And he said, however, if it was 1978 and I was 8 years old, I would want to go and be able to buy these things. I think, and other people think, kids that I play with, they think they're pretty cool. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And now coming back at the end, here we are with getting a chance to meet with Dale as the 77-year-old inventor, machinist, and just kind of a all-around ingenuitive guy that seen an issue with the basically terrible darts that were out and available that everybody uses, wanted to fix a problem, came up with this as a solution. And yet again, you see, go to Hasbro, you get turned away. Go to Busby, they're at least open-minded. And that kind of leads me into the just being refreshed by the company to, you know, they're at least willing to listen. They're at least willing to be open-minded. And that's something that's not typical of big companies. And that Busby's a little different on. And so I think that the story behind the Precise Pro is a very neat and unique tale where still an individual with an idea can get an opportunity. And also goes to show, doesn't matter, you know, what you picture, it could be anybody that can come up with a solution for an unusual problem, like inaccurate foam darts, and coming up with what is still, in my opinion, the greatest full-length foam dart to ever be made. That's the Busby Precise Pro, created by Dale Isenmann and actually brought to fruition by a unusually open-minded company with Busby, who is still my favorite for many reasons. But hope you enjoyed this little mini documentary, and stay tuned for more. Not just general content, but also more from Dale Isenmann. I've got a few more videos that we recorded on site here today. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed it.